This is a great story, but only also great because I get to see Trace.
It's great stuff. Thank you. Great to see you on the West Coast.
We'll be tuning in tonight. Trace, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, Kid Rock reacts to the media's new attack on Trump's playlist. But first, DEI goes from obnoxious to downright dangerous. The latest example that's going to cost lives. Next.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Now is the time to switch to Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $39.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500 when you add more mobile lines. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel, or peeks down at it for a glance, or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, you could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
From the Fox News Podcasts Network.
Hey, this is Trey Gowdy, host of the Trey Gowdy Podcast. Every Tuesday, you'll hear what's on my mind. Plus, every Thursday, there's a special bonus episode where we answer the questions that are on your mind. Make sure to spend your Tuesdays and Thursdays with Trey. Subscribe now at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. Hope to see you.
America's listening to Fox News.
Guy Benson.
So the special counsel had to justify this non-charging decision, and a big part of the justification, despite the fact that the president, quote, willfully retained and disclosed classified materials that were marked as classified, despite that, they felt like a jury would not be inclined to convict him because he was this doddering, well-meaning, diminished capacity old man.
Shop the Spring Super Sale for shockingly low prices on outdoor essentials and more at Rural King. Check out our latest Rudy specials. Take $3 off Greenskeeper's Secret All-Purpose Fertilizer, now $14.99. And $3 off our Lawn and Garden Battery, now $24.99. Plus, get 25% off Carhartt men's and women's K87 t-shirts. Save big on these items and more at your neighborhood Rural King or ruralking.com, America's farm and home store.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind. 1994. Senator Ted Kennedy.
Jackie would have preferred to be just herself, but the world insisted that she be a legend too.
Police in Anaheim say they are following a white Ford Bronco. In that is O.J. Simpson with a gun to his head.
You guys have got to be strong because you are. I just know. I just feel in my heart that you're okay, but you got to take care of each other.
Susan Smith has been arrested and will be charged with 2 counts of murder in connection with the deaths of her children.
It's not a Republican victory. It's not a Democratic victory. It is the American people making a set of choices.
Can you get someone over here now to 325 Gretna Green? He's back. Please.
Okay, what does he look like?
He's O.J. Simpson. I think you know his record.
News as it happened then, news as it happens now.
This is Fox News Talk.
Homelessness kills. We can't be free anywhere until the settler land we're standing on is free. This trauma continues to kill because Mama Earth is considered a commodity.
Is that a joke? Is that a real? Oh, yeah, that's not a joke. That's Lisa Tiny Gray Garcia, Gray-Garcia. She's the activist in residence at UCLA, which is right down the road here in Los Angeles. And last week, if you were a first-year med student on campus, you had to listen to more of that nonsense during a mandatory course on structural racism. Ms. Gray Garcia reportedly began the lecture by instructing students to touch the floor, she refers to Mama Earth, with a fist while she made a non-secular prayer to Mama Earth and our ancestors. Now, some students were so disturbed by this, they actually did complain to their professors. But this DEI obsession in the medical field, it's more than comedy gold. It's actually dangerous. So consider this madness. In Massachusetts, some hospitals now will no longer file neglect reports for babies born with drugs in their system because those reports disproportionately affect women of color. Yeah, that's not the Babylon Bee. That's real. Joining me now, Dr. Marilyn Singleton, board-certified anesthesiologist and senior fellow at Do No Harm. Also with me, Xavier de Rousseau, PragerU personality and former Black Lives Matter activist. Dr. Singleton, we're supposed to be impressed because the Association of American Medical Colleges just penned this op-ed in the Journal saying that neglecting DEI in medical education somehow jeopardizes the quality of patient care. Do you agree?
Absolutely not. And you said earlier in your show about the Orwellian changing of words. There was a time when diversity meant meeting others and learning about other cultures and other people. And it did help us be better doctors. But this new DEI includes segregation, fomenting resentments among doctors, among patients, and it's eroding the trust that for years, as they call it, divergent doctors and patients have trusted each other. Divergent doctors have worked with each other, all to the benefit of the patient, and they're trying to erase that now.
Xavier, I've been hearing about this from my friends in the medical field, doctors in Boston. It's wild what's happening in med schools. They spend a lot of time on transgenderism and gender dysphoria, you know, the detransitioning process. I mean, you might as well think the whole medical school is about that by the time they get through with it. But what does this tell you about where we are in a society where life and death decisions and merit is kind of, it's not the primary concern for some?
It's showing that America's not learning our lesson. How many times does it have to be apparent to us that DEI as the focus is not helping anybody? I mean, is this a groundbreaking concept that medical students should be learning how to actually practice medicine? Or better yet, our medical students should be preparing for the next time that China gets into a silly, goofy mood and decides to make a global virus that leaks out of their lab and comes and destroys our way of life. But no, that's too much to ask for. Instead, we are teaching our medical students to worship racism and, in this case, Mother Earth.
Oh, no, that was the best. She was wrapped up like a mummy in that outfit, too. I wasn't sure what that was all, but we should ask if we could just audit that class next time. Xavier, I'm sure UCLA would be great with that. All right, the media is buying Dr. Singleton. They're buying this narrative on DEI, lock, stock, and barrel. Watch this.
Diversity training and diversity in medical recruitment helps counter the well-documented biases that contribute to worse health outcomes for certain populations. Having doctors of different races and ethnic backgrounds and doctors who are trained to consider diversity and racial disparities is literally of life and death importance.
Okay. Dr. Singleton, take it away.
I tell you, I don't know who has instructed these people, and it's bizarre to me that people who have nothing to do with medicine are somehow predicting what's going to make a good doctor. There have been good doctors for years, and yes, I'm not denying that there have been some missteps, things like the Tuskegee experiment, but you can't keep pointing to that. That's not all doctors. And all patients just want a good doctor. Are you going to have patients turning down a kidney transplant from a person of a different race? I don't think so. And this is just trying to make we physicians tools of government social engineers. That's not why we became doctors. That's not why these poor students are going to medical school. They're going to medical school to learn some science. And way back when, before all this lingo and rhetoric, there was something called a social history. It's part of your medical history. And what did you ask in social history? You asked about people's living circumstances. Did they have family help, etc.? That's how you learned about patients. And you treated them like an individual.
People. Yeah, people, not based on race. Yeah, well, it's not just medical school. Yeah, Xavier, consulting giant McKinsey has been one of the biggest peddlers of the DEI nonsense, but a recent report concluded that it's actually complete garbage. McKinsey's studies neither conceptually nor empirically support the argument that large U.S. public firms can expect, on average, to deliver improved financial performance if they increase the racial and ethnic diversity of their execs. Xavier, again, color coding employment, and whether it's in finance or medicine or being a pilot, we just want the best of the best.
That's exactly right. We want the best of the best. Why can we not just pursue talent and those who have the skill sets to be the best? Like, you might have industries that are doing better because they're more diverse, but that's because there's more talented people there, not because you went out of your way to go find 50 Shades of Brown to be in your company. I assure you that if you just prioritize skill sets the same way that you would do if it were all
professional sports teams, it's all about merit, as it should be.
Exactly.
I mean, let's take that same. They understand talent, and they understand how to cultivate it and find it. Dr. Singleton, Xavier, thank you both. All right, ahead, the new eye-popping amount that a parent out there may have to fork over for just 1 year of college for your child. Mike Rowe is here next to react.
I'm Jack Callahan. President Biden warning Israel's Prime Minister Netanyahu in a phone call today further U.S. military aid could be conditioned on improved humanitarian assistance in Gaza.
President Biden told Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu Israel must announce and implement a series of specific, concrete, and measurable steps to address civilian harm and the safety of aid workers.
Fox's Jared Halpern, the federal judge in the former President Trump's classified documents case, rejecting a motion to toss it.
Former President Trump's team said the classified document case against him should be dismissed because he considered the records personal under the Presidential Records Act. But Judge Aileen Cannon, a Trump appointee, writes, the act does not provide a pretrial basis to dismiss, and the charges against him don't even reference the act.
It's Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. America is listening to Fox News.
I'm Dana Perino. Join me for my podcast, Perino on Politics. Every Monday, I'm going to talk to people I trust in politics as they tell me what they're seeing and thinking in the 2024 election cycle. When it comes to campaign cash, President Biden is saying, show me the money. But will it help him come November? This week, I'm joined by the president and CEO of Squared Communications, Michael Meehan, for a look at the challenges ahead for the Biden campaign. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcast.com.
I'm Emily Campagno, host of the Fox True Crime Podcast. On September 2nd, 1982, 15-year-old Karen Stitt never made it home from her bus stop in Sunnyvale, California. Her body was found the next morning, raped and stabbed 59 times. This week, I'm joined by Sunnyvale detective Matt Hutchison as he details the creative investigative journey he took to arrest the suspect 40 years later. Available now on Apple, Spotify, and FoxNewsPodcast.com.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Now is the time to switch to Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $39.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500 when you add more mobile lines. Internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to Spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
Are you someone who tries to drive while distracted by your phone? Someone who props it on the steering wheel or peeks down at it for a glance? Or just scrolls and scrolls? If so, You could be the next person to get into a fender bender, get a ticket, veer off the road, or even cause a crash that kills you or someone else. Enough already. Put the phone away or pay. Paid for by NHTSA.
Interesting people are talking to Will Kane.
I said, what do I call you? I call you Dwayne, I call you The Rock. He said, now that I own it, I can call you The Rock.
Yes, I own it now. You can call me The Rock.
Our next guest needs no introduction. It is Dr. Jordan Peters, my old friend and frenemy, Stephen A. Smith.
What is going on here? I see the Will Kane show in the background. I see the microphone.
Watch it live at noon Eastern, Monday through Thursday on FoxNews.com. And get the podcast 5 days a week at FoxNewsPodcasts.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts.
Some private colleges are now costing as much as $95,000 per year. Tuition, room and board, books, all that. But what middle-class family can afford that, especially in Biden's economy? And that's why young people are beginning to look for other ways to make money. Some are moving to the trades. According to the National Student Clearinghouse, students enrolled in vocational-focused community colleges rose 16% last year. Students studying construction trades rose 23% since 2018. HVAC, vehicle maintenance, repair, that increased 7%. Joining me now, Mike Rowe, host of How America Works, Dirty Jobs, and CEO of the Mike Rowe Works Foundation. Mike, now, you were predicting this for quite some time. I think the cost of a lot of these contractors is shocking to Americans who can't fix a toilet by themselves. But is this a good sign for the country that kids are actually saying, wait a second, what makes most sense?
Well, might be a little early for a victory lap, but if I were inclined to take one, I would. Looking at those numbers, we've been at this for 16 years, specifically trying to rationally talk about the cost of a 4-year degree, which incidentally has increased faster than the cost of energy, food, real estate. Nothing in the history of Western civilization has gotten more expensive more quickly than that thing. And yet, even with 10 million open positions, most of which don't require a 4-year degree, but training, we have still been pushing hard and applying an extraordinary amount of pressure on a lot of people to take that path. So the unintended consequences of painting with a broad brush were self-evident. And the ship, it's like a tanker slowly turning in the ocean, but it is turning. Those data are real clear. And it's ironic in a lot of ways that it's Gen Z who's looking around and saying, no, man, too much, too beaucoup.
Yeah. Well, the free money in terms of some assistance people get, which, is great for some people, but it also unnecessarily inflates, I think, the enrollment in a lot of these colleges, government money. And I mean, it allows colleges to be really fat in terms of bureaucracies. They grow their administrative costs by 38% in a 5-year period, and not needed at all. It's a jobs program, college bureaucrats.
If you look at the ratio in the Ivy League of administrators to students, it's shocking. It's so far and away surpasses anything you'd find in the hospitality business. I mean, it's just bananas. But again, people are starting to realize that the diploma that's been hanging on their wall is really a receipt. And there was a time when it was easy to equate knowledge with the diploma, but now you have to look at it in terms of its cost. And the other thing you said that is super interesting, inflation is in the headlines, but there's another kind of inflation going on. It's credential inflation. And at Harvard in 1955, the average graduate graduated with a GPA of 2.55. Today it's 3.98.
Oh, yeah.
So
no, it's insane. All right.
You can conclude any number of things from it, but there's no denying the fact that it's still expensive.
And Mike can fix anything. He doesn't have to hire the crazy people that I love, but I have to hire. Mike, you're the best. Great to see you. All right, the maniacs in the media have a new issue to attack Trump over. Yeah, it's his music. Kid Rock reacts next.
Guy Benson.
So the special counsel had to justify this non-charging decision, and a big part of the justification, despite the fact that the president, quote, willfully retained and disclosed classified materials that were marked as classified, despite that, they felt like a jury would not be inclined to convict him because he was this doddering, well-meaning, diminished capacity old man.
My 13-year-old acts like a puppy again. Almost overnight, she's a different dog.
Perfect poops.
When people switch their dog's food to the farmer's dog, the effects can seem like magic. But there's no magic involved. It's simply real meat and vegetables with all the nutrients dogs need, instead of highly processed pellets. No tricks, just smarter, healthier pet food delivered in packs portioned for your dog. It's amazing what real food can do. Get 50% off your first order at thefarmersdog.com/no-magic.
Now is the time to switch to Spectrum. Get Spectrum Internet delivering fast and reliable speeds for just $39.99 a month, plus free advanced Wi-Fi for enhanced security and a free Spectrum Mobile Unlimited line with nationwide 5G. Ask how you can get a Visa Rewards card up to $500 when you add more mobile lines, internet, advanced Wi-Fi, and mobile. Get it all with Spectrum One. Go to spectrum.com for full details. Offer subject to change. Valid for qualified residential customers only. Restrictions apply.
This is Fox News Talk.
Headline Rewind.
1993.
Our democracy must be not only the envy of the world, but the engine of our own renewal. There is nothing wrong with America that cannot be cured by what is right with America.
At 12:18 this afternoon, we got a call for a report of explosion in the basement of 3 World Trade Center.
I was blown across the room. Everything went black, and it felt like a tomb. Then the lights came on, safety lights, so we ran out just trying to find a way out.
It took like 2 hours to get down. People were passing out, and it was horrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time for peace has come.
On July 2nd, 1991, I had sexual relations with Amy Fisher at the Freeport Motel.
News as it happened then, news as it happens now.
This is Fox News Talk.
The former president's after-dinner DJ sessions include his favorites played at a high volume, and same vibe at his rallies. He controls the playlist, disregarding advisors regarding topic, tone, or volume.
Okay, this is just getting funny. Now, they tried indicting him, they tried defaming him, they tried to bankrupt him, they tried calling him a traitor, and now the little influencers online are even attacking Trump because of his favorite songs, his playlist. Now, some nights at Mar-a-Lago, the president likes to play DJ, blow off a little steam. I've been there when he does it. It's actually pretty funny. Not that I haven't teased him on some of his choices, but that's the fun of it. So Axios wants you to think this is all a bad thing because no one can have fun except